All right, we're going to move on to a couple NFC North quarterbacks now. We'll start with, the dream crusher of this show, Jordan Love, arguably my favorite and least favorite player in the NFL. Favorite in terms of helping out this podcast. Obviously Jordan Love has done a lot for our show. On the other hand, I cannot believe we're sitting here having these Jordan Love conversations about him, taking the Packers to the Super Bowl. It's like, we talk about the Packers because we have so many listeners who are huge fans.
And because they are one of the more interesting teams.
I think that they're super interesting. But the very fact that this is happening right now blows my mind. I can't, how many times I'm made fun of by people? They're like, oh yeah, your show has a lot of Packers fans, right? Yes, we do. That is Jordan Love's doing. And when you take a look over the course of Packers MVP quarterbacks, all the big ones have done it. Bart Starr did it in 1966. Brett Favre, I actually didn't realize this until the other day. I was on his Pro Football, what was it? The Pro Football
Reference.
Data reference, yeah. 3 straight MVPs, 1995, 96, 97. And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers, 4 MVPs, 2011, 14, 20, and 21. Begs the question, if Jordan Love is going to be the next great Packer quarterback, when can we see this jump into elite status? Now, Brian Gutekunst came out and he said the sky's the limit for this guy. Offensive coordinator comes out. He says this night and day from 2023 to 2024. Last year we kind of had to keep a leash on everybody. We weren't sure exactly how much of the plays we could run. You weren't sure. You're running new installments, teaching him. And now the scary thing for the NFC North, for us Vikings fans, for the whole league, when you talk about the Packers, is this second-year starter has a year under his belt and confidence. And his receivers, a lot of them, second-year starters, have confidence. They know they can. They probably should have gone to the NFC Championship game last year. When you take a look at Jordan Love in the MVP odds, it goes Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. That's your top 5. Number 6 is a tie between Jordan Love and Justin Herbert. And behind them is Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts. So looking right there, I mean, we're calling Jordan Love one of the best quarterbacks in the league from the MVP odds right now. I want to ask you guys, based on a second half surge, 18 touchdowns to 1 interception, led the league almost, or he did, I can't remember, passing yards, just phenomenal. They go 6-2, get in the playoffs. Is this like a real MVP candidate to you, or do we need to pump the brakes on Love being thrown in the same world as Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, and Herbert? What do you think, Ziggy?
So let's be clear, he's not quite in the same world as Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert, right?
No,
I don't know what CJ Stroud has done to earn being ahead of Jordan Love, actually. I think that is all hype. But look, Jordan Love put together half a season that was MVP worthy. Now look, was that all smoke? I mean, theoretically, it could have been. But how many players who have hit the NFL have put together as good a stretch as Jordan Love did over 9 games? Plus, he was good in the playoffs against some good defenses, right? It's not like he was playing a cupcake schedule for those games. There was a lot of pressure. How many players have looked that good for that long and then sucked the rest of their career? There's not a whole lot of them. I'm sure some fan is going to be able to pull out one in the comments, but that just doesn't happen very often. So look, Patrick Mahomes is a stranglehold on this award, right? Josh Allen is up there. Joe Burrow is up there. But it's not unrealistic for Jordan Love to be winning MVP. He's got a developing offense. He's going to be on a team that, in all likelihood, I think will win the division, will be a contender. Like, the stars are sort of aligning for Jordan Love to be in a good spot to win. And if he plays as good as he did or close, I don't expect, 36 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But if he throws for 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 5,000 yards, he'll be right up there with anyone and could probably win it because everyone's going to be excited to give it to someone who ain't Mahomes.
Yeah. It's funny how last year at this time, we're saying Green Bay is going 4-12 with Jordan Love at the quarterback.
Oh, I'm so happy. I was
so happy.
That
was the happiest time to be a Vikings fan in the world.
And now we're all talking about him winning the MVP.
No, but Jack, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I knew it too. Like, the second I thought we were in trouble, and you could go back and look on our page. Literally the first preseason game, I think, against the Bengals, I watched one drive and I went, oh my God, this is happening again. It was
and then we got all
horrible.
giddy when he struggled for the first half of the season because it's like, never mind. All our fears were unfounded. the fears were in fact well founded.
Now,
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
if this was an NFC versus AFC award, I say Jordan Love clear cut favorite in the NFC.
Yeah, like
Because
what? Prescott, Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, like
Hurts,
I'd say absolutely.
So he's your front runner with
Like,
Jalen Hurts too?
I think he's my NFC MVP front runner. But
Okay.
you got these AFC powers. I do think though that Jordan Love belongs up there, at least in terms of these odds, in this conversation. What he did the last 8-9 games last year, he was the best in the NFL. He hit some historical marks. And now they're all taking a leap. This entire team, these receivers. And I'm sorry to do this to you, but there's no reason to believe that they are not going to come out, mesh even better, and get this thing going even better.
I mean, they probably have a top 10 offensive line too.
This time from the start of the season. Like, what's the doubt in saying this team won't pick up where it left off? The talent's there.
It's purely just hope.
The talent's there. The chemistry is there. So what reason is there not to say Jordan Love belongs in a legitimate MVP conversation? If you can,
yeah, and when you look at what you need to win an MVP, you need some marquee wins, right?
Win a division.
Well, the Packers have a lot of marquee games at home. They host the Texans. They host the 49ers. They play the Eagles in Brazil, which is basically a home game. They're going to get to play the Lions, right? They get to go to Los Angeles and play the Rams. They've got a few wins penciled in against
Why the hell are Packers, Eagles, and Brazil basically a home game for the Packers?
Yeah.
Brazil, no, so like you can actually look at the fan demographics. The Packers are the most popular team in Brazil by a wide margin. You're going to see, it's going to be, the stands are going to be full because everything breaks for the freaking Packers.
No,
right?
but there are some,
you're just going to see stands full of Packers fans.
Steelers is the same way.
No, they are like that. They are that brand.
Yeah, they host the Dolphins.
That's not going to feel like Lambeau Field. It's going to be like
it's going to look like Lambeau Field. You'll
because
see.
The Eagles were green also, though. So.
Well, it's expanded the stadium.
Look, all I'm saying is just they have so many marquee games, and they're having them at a lot of them at home. That's the kind of momentum you need to build an MVP case. Because, of course, he doesn't play in the AFC, right? So it's not as easy to get those head-to-head matchups. But I think there's enough in here that Jordan Love can have the narrative going for him if they win.
Well, and the other thing, one way that you can look at him being in the NFC as the favorable part is the Packers could very easily be the 1 seed next year. Like we said they're in the top 3 to be the 1 seed. The Packers are in the AFC. It is a tougher conference for sure. Success has a lot to do with MVPs. Just look at basketball. I mean, that's like the one you could look at a lot. Where actually, I'm sorry, no football. I'm sorry. In football, like teams that are 1 seeds you're treated better in the MVP case. Remember last season, it was bouncing back and forth. Like, oh, Lamar's the MVP. No, it's Purdy's the MVP.
And then the head-to-head just decided.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it matters so much towards the end of the year. So also you can look at what's happening at the end of the season. Sorry, Jack, it looks like you want
to. Sorry to cut you up, but the one small thing is too about this is not many people are talking about the Lions, who are fantastic. Whereas if they win the NFC North, Jordan Love's out the window. Those MVP conversations.
I do agree.
If they win the North, Jared Goff could be in the MVP.
That's what I'm saying. But like AFC, you got whoever's winning the North between Burrow and Lamar. You see,
and the Browns and Steelers are not bad.
No, but like if Stroud
MVP.
Yeah, if Stroud wins the AFC South division winner, like it's tough going against Detroit, where you can very easily end up with a 6 or 7 seed once again in the playoffs and talk about MVP.
Yeah.
So I think it's justified, but it's not a bet that I would make.
Okay. Got you. And it's something we'll have to see when the schedule comes out. We were talking earlier about, Ziggy was saying he's not really a huge fan of the schedule release. If the Packers have a couple of those big games towards the end of the season, like last year, as he was coming on, they beat the Chiefs in Lambeau Field. They beat the Bears in that huge game to end the season. Like those sorts of games can propel an MVP case. So we'll see who they're playing towards the end of the season. Like if they can rattle off 3 or 4 wins in a row, get maybe one big one. Now we're talking about a case that's going to have momentum going into voting. I hate the fact that Jordan Love is actually being mentioned in the same breath as these quarterbacks, the elite quarterbacks. I don't think as in terms of a player ranking, I'm not ready to put him up there with Mahomes and Lamar and Josh Allen and Burrow. But from an MVP, he's probably tier 2. maybe tier 3.
Don't be afraid. Put him up there. Don't be afraid.
Having functionally your second year quarterback be tier 2, tier 3 is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and people are gonna get mad. I said tier 3. I'm talking about like if there's 1 or 2 people in tier 2.
Maybe you think that like Mahomes is in a tier of his own.
Yeah, it's like that. He's probably tier 2 anyway. But in terms of MVP odds, yeah, I think he's probably in a good spot there. I'm not gonna put Stafford or Hurts or Purdy over him. Like I'm probably not. So you're right, Jack. Yeah, maybe he is the NFC frontrunner MVP.
I think I'd only put that list is good. I'd put Fields over him though. That's probably it.
Yeah, jeez.
Justin Fields. Maybe Russ.
I'm gonna be in Wisconsin this weekend. I'm gonna be in I'm gonna be in that terrifying state.
So am I. Yeah.
No, it's
I'm serious.
You should.
I'm going. Lauren, you're just invited me to graduation.
Yeah, the graduation. Yeah, yeah. So
when Lauren and I get married, we can have the wedding.
Oh, jeez.
I already proposed, Ziggy.
Right.
I already proposed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be surrounded by cheeseheads the entire weekend. I'm gonna have to hear a lot about. I'm gonna get a lot of shit talk.
You might get recognized.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get recognized. Hey, aren't you that guy from the Paul?
Wait, have a meet and greet.
No. It's graduation weekend. Maybe that'd be kind of fun to maybe see some. I'm sure some people who know the show will be there. But yeah, that's a dangerous territory for me walking around Wisconsin. I always got to look over my shoulder. You know the funny thing is, if I look over my shoulder, someone would probably be saying like, "Hey man, you want a brat and a beer?" I'd be like, "Oh my god, why are you so nice?"
You'll be too busy getting drunk and getting the Wisco ladies.
Yeah, right.